the Physique Mastery Podcast. This is Scott Tuzina along with Bryan Krahn. Today we are going to be talking about cheat reps versus strict form. Is there a time and a place to use a little body English and how to, use it in the most appropriate way, a safe way, in a way that will enhance the benefits of the exercise and just improve your overall results. And I think part of this discussion came up because within our Physique Mastery movement, group coaching, I record a lot of videos, exercise demonstrations, and always making sure I got picture perfect form and talking about keeping the tension on the target muscle, giving a lot of good cues. And in our group, we're seeing a lot of the members using excellent form, but there's a time and a place where we're looking at their movements and we're like, man, they can push it just a little bit more, and if they use a bit of body English, they can really crank things up even further and get a little bit more out of each exercise. So I think that's what really brought up this conversation and wanting to kind of get the point across that cheat reps, when used properly, can be outstanding. So, Bryan, what are some of your thoughts here? What would be because the key would be, you want strict form. Form is important. You don't want to be starting with cheat reps right at the beginning of the first rep of an exercise. And you're doing a barbell curl right away. You're just picking a weight that you can't use proper form to begin with. You want to be using proper form in the beginning and then just maybe using a little body English to help out with the last couple of reps.
Well, yeah, because the key, especially for building muscle, the key is tension on the muscle. So I always subscribe that at least the first half to 2/3 of the set should be as close to perfect form as you can. But towards the end of the set, depending on the exercise, if you got to recruit assisting muscles, use a little bit of momentum to finish the set and get an extra few reps. There's nothing wrong with that, provided you are keeping tension on the muscle. And that is the biggest qualifier. If you start using your lower back to do curls, you're no longer adding to the tension of the muscle. Whereas if you add a little bit of shoulder flexion to keep pumping out reps, that's a little bit different.
Exactly, and this is a technique we actually used recently in one of our programs where we were doing a dumbbell skull crusher, lying tricep extension, and you do your 8 to 10 reps with quality form, and then we're big on extending set techniques. We love extending a set and just maximizing maximizing a set there. So we used a bit of body English at the end. So you're bending your elbows, you're letting that dumbbell come back, and then you're getting your 8 to 10 reps, and then you're still keeping tension on the triceps, but you let the shoulders go back a little bit, and then use a little bit of momentum out of the bottom, but you're feeling that stretch in the tricep, and you're really engaging in the beginning. You're just using a little bit of extra help from the shoulders, a little bit of momentum to get a few more reps in there, and it's awesome. It's a great little technique.
Yeah, it's so it's sort of like the mechanical advantage work we do. That's my favorite way to train is you do your reps as strictly as possible. Then you start to recruit, do a little bit of cheating, use a little bit of body English where applicable. Just with the tricep exercise by a little bit of is that shoulder extension or flexion?
Extension,
extension. It allows you to get into a deeper stretch, and then you still have all that tension when you push through the concentric. That's just smart training. But again, it's very much, another example is a lateral raise.
Yes.
You start off really, really strict, again, tension, and then towards the end, maybe you add a little bit of a swing just to get those last 2-3 reps. But always, keeping tension as the focal point.
Definitely. If you're doing a standing dumbbell press, you could turn it into a push press. Get that little. It's like having a spotter helping you get out of the hole. Just get out a few extra reps in the movement there.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, though, it depends on the exercise. Some exercises they just don't lend themselves to sloppy technique. I think squatting should look good, man. It's a very technical lift. But whereas some other lifts, it's a little bit of English at the end. It certainly helps. So
definitely. Like biceps, you're doing a cross-body hammer curl, you get some good form in. it's okay to sway a little bit here and there, to hoist that, as long as you're not turning it into a full friggin' lower back type movement there. But a little momentum can be a good thing, and I think we run into a little bit of an issue. I think strict form is excellent. I think people are leaving results on the table when they become the form police and they see a bodybuilder starting to use something. Oh, no. Like, wait, what are you doing here? It's all about perfection there. I think, no, you're definitely leaving results on the table if you're...
I always laugh when someone looks at a 250, 260 pound bodybuilder and, he doesn't know what he's doing. Look at his terrible form. It's just like, what he's doing clearly works. So, and that's, there's actually great lessons when you watch really, really good bodybuilders train, is that typically their form is never perfect on most exercises, but there's always a lot of focus and there's always that emphasis on tension.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not like, it's never haphazard. It's never, well, at least rarely, but it's very much an art form. So
definitely. And some, even the ones with great form, you're going to see them at the end. It's all about effort. They want to give everything they can to a movement. And there's a big difference between using a little body English to get that a little few more reps and grinding a rep out at the end. You're grinding a set out, and so you're doing a lateral raise. Or I don't know if that's the best example. Or shoulder press. You get a shoulder press, and you hit the 8th rep, and you're like, I don't think I can get the 9th rep out, but you're forcing it out there, and you feel tension in your lower back. You feel your shoulder straining like crazy.
Yeah.
And you're forcing it up there, grinding it out. I think you're at a greater risk of injury if you're trying to grind it out with perfect form. Then you get your 8 reps and you want to get a 9th, bounce it to the bottom. Use a little body English there instead. I think that would be. Yeah. I think you're going to actually be safer using incorrect form or not proper form, using a bit of body English to help get it up there.
Oh yeah, I will take momentum and a bit of swing over grinding every time. Especially now that I'm old, I don't frickin' grind, man. I ain't no grinder. I mean, not on grinder. But it's again, certain lifts. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like something like a machine curl or something, it can lend itself. You can do a little bit of focus on the eccentric, but I don't grind much anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, it's good. There's definitely a time and a place. It's not something you want to. I mean, don't listen to this and think every exercise I choose, I'm going to use a bit of momentum at the end and really extend everything single set. You don't have to take a time and a place for everything. Just and sometimes some days you just have it too. You have that extra energy. You just want to really give it during a workout, and those are at times where certain exercises you can really give it. You might do some strict barbell rows, and then it's okay to pop. Like you see people popping out there. It's all good. It's all good as long as you're keeping the tension on that target muscle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's there's a lot of lessons to be learned by just by watching big bodybuilders train, man, because they all find their own. Depending on their body type and their their limb length and all that jazz. They all find their own ways to do that. They all find their own ways to kind of extend the set, because when you're that big, when you've developed that much muscle, like you have to push it for every last little bit of gains, man. That's why they've learned these techniques to extend the set, push, beyond, into where they're going to get the growth. And it's just neat when different size guys and how they're built, they'll cheat or use momentum in different ways. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even in pumping iron, we saw Arnold do it a few times, and same thing. It wasn't until the end, and like when he was saying, it's like those last 2 reps that's where you grow. It's not so much that the other reps don't count. It's the last 2 reps. That's where you can kind of step outside that comfort zone, not grind it out, but use that bit of cheating to really push yourself through.
That's a great point. Like the first reps should be clean, and they should just build in that intensity and just build in that effort. And then those last few reps, that's when you recruit everything you got.
Absolutely. Very cool. I think that's a wrap. So our point of view on cheat reps versus strict form. Again, it's not a verse. It's combining them. There's always, as always, it depends. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Don't be using your lower back and wrist curls. But...
So true. All right, looking forward to hearing your thoughts and feedback on this topic. I hope you're not a form Nazi and criticizing anyone without perfect form out there. But again, quality form, tension is key.
Yep.
Catch you next time.